Well, hello again, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Automotive Drama, Gary's Repair and Custom. Um, Old Caddy Restore Project. As you can see, this is, I don't know if you saw the previous video of where I used panel bond to get that seam. That was really bad. And it was so thick, I was not going to use just Bondo filler or whatever you want to call it. I had to use actual something that was more structural and never gonna ever get water in it. So I use that. You can see right here there's a slight layer of filler over it because I'm trying to get it nice and smooth. And if you see where I went through, all right, now this is my second coat of primer. I had already put one on it, knocked it down, skimmed it out. I knocked that down. I don't know if there's probably in the video somewhere in the archives of the episodes of the Cadillac. But my main concern today is this is a very important stage if you're doing body work properly, especially if you want to do body work where the paint comes out looking like a show car. Excuse me. All right. So I already threw another heavy coat of primer over after I skimmed it all down to get out all the little spots, which I'm sure I showed you in the video. And this is my second coat of primer, and I just knocked it down. And here's something key. You see where I went through? I went through here. Not only, of course, I need to add more primer. I went through here. There probably wasn't enough there to get the body line that I needed to begin with. But secondly, it's high spot. So everything else is lower, which I want to bring you to this point about doing body work properly. Okay, you see the different color lines here? Well, this is primer. You see the different color lines there? All right, there was a low spot here, okay? Low. Quote my words, low. But it actually wasn't a low spot. This was a high spot. Now, the key to doing this properly is you want to get, since this is like my highest point, now this and this are level. This and this are level. This and this are level. So this is a high point, yes. And I really don't want to tap down on it more than I have to and add more filler. This is the whole point of also using the high build primer. Now, I have this at a point where I've already, well, there was a bunch of body work done here. There used to be a hole here, and you probably saw the patch where I welded it all up. But and to begin with, at the factory, they don't finish these out because it had a vinyl top. So the whole thing wasn't even flat. It was wavy everywhere. But my whole point is, when you're doing body work properly, it's to put the least amount of filler on that you can. Not just put a bunch of filler and make it flat. No, the least amount of filler to the highest point of metal that you have without having to bang it down. I mean, this is pretty smooth all the way down. What I'm trying to say here is at this point, these all match. It might not look like they match, but you can see the different colors. These are high spots. Now, it needs more primer. I'm going to put a medium coat on it, let it set up for 20 minutes, half hour, and then I'm going to put a big heavy coat on it. And then let that dry overnight and get nice and hard. And then I can give it what they call, I'll sand it all back down again after it hardens. And then I'm going to take glazing putty and skim the whole thing out one more time with glazing putty. Knock it back down one more time. And then give it one more heavy coat of primer. And then it's ready for wet sanding. And you can actually what we call, I'll dust it with black paint and I'll wet sand it out. And when all the black paint's gone, I'll show you that in the future when I get to that point. Then the entire surface of this thing is completely smooth and flat, like an ice skating rink, not a surfboard convention. So just a little note about if you're going to do body work properly. Yes, it is a little bit more time consuming. I agree. But the all-out finish will be much better, and you don't have to worry about filler. Because, I showed you what the factory filler looked like and all that. I don't like filler. The only filler I want to use is primer. But I can't get away with that all the time. But that's just a key point on how to make sure, if you want this thing smooth as hell, when you look down the side of it, it's flat as glass. Not looking like you're ready to go surfing in a surfboard convention or competition or whatever you want to call it. So anyways, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Automotive Drama. Stay tuned for more. And also, any questions, comments, feel free to ask. Likes are nice, subscribes are better. But anyways, thanks again for tuning in, and stay tuned for more episodes of Automotive Drama at Gary's Repair and Custom. Have a good night.